Hello, everyone. You've just caught me enjoying another Saturday in isolation and missing you guys, I have to say. It's been a whole entire week now um, of this whole entire situation, and honestly, I'm getting tired of it. I want to get back to the normal. Honestly, there are some of you I've been really happy about that I've noticed you've actually been doing the work, and it really shows a ton of respect, and I'm really proud of you. There's like no words I can use to fully describe how grateful I am. Good job. I hope you're having time, to at least play some video games, watch movies, Netflix, dance, whatever it is people do these days. Um, yeah. Anyway, so yesterday there was one thing I just realized, that yesterday when I did my video about chemistry, I focused on alchemy, right? And alchemy obviously was crucial to developing the idea of concept of elements, right? If you notice, I did not talk about periodic table, which is extremely important, especially in regards to chemistry. And so, what I want you to do, just this moment, um, is just, you know, think about why this is so important, right? You have chemistry. I know you take chemistry. I know it's been interesting this year, to say the very least. But there's a great book called uh, The Disappearing Spoon. It's extremely informative. It's actually really about the history of chemistry. And there's one section of this that really focuses on the history of the actual periodic table, focusing on like the actual foundation, the creation. Because yes, you guys should know who Mendeleev, whatever way you want to say it. You should know who he is. However, he was not the only one. Okay, it's those dang Russians trying to take all the credit again. It's funny because I'm Russian. Get it? Anyway, I just want to read you this section. It's actually really important. And it actually describes a really interesting history. So here we go. Let's dive. It'd be page 352 if you do happen to have a copy of this book. Anyway, it says best description of the six scientists competing to form the first systematic arrangement of elements can be found in Eric Sherry's The Periodic Table. Three other people are generally given credit for its co-inventing, or at least contributing to the periodic system. Of course, I just said Mendeleev took credit. Anyway, Alexander Emile Bigir de Chantecotois. Say that 10 times fast. According to Sherry, discovered the single most important step in developing the periodic table, that the properties of the elements are a periodic function of their atomic weights, a full 7 years before Mendeleev arrived at the same conclusion. Oh, dang. De Chantecotois. Let's say that. A geologist drew his periodic table on a spiral cylinder, like the thread of a screw. You know those things, the Archimedes screws that twist around and they pick up the water and they move it around, maybe. You've seen that at the Science Museum. Won't be seeing that for a while, though, until they reopen all of it. The possibility of his getting credit for the table was dashed when a publisher couldn't figure out how to reproduce the crucial screw diagram showing all of the elements. If you think back to when I showed you the boiler, oh wait, you didn't do that yet. That's in the Industrial Revolution pages. You'll see that. You'll see that. When you see that, you'll see that the diagrams were not that good. They're pretty bad, in the beginning at least. They didn't really show how things work. People couldn't really reproduce the stuff that were in them. Anyway, the publisher finally threw his hands up and printed the paper without it. Imagine trying to learn about the periodic table without being able to see it. That's how some of you try to do your chemistry homework. But you have to use the periodic table for when you do those things. Always have that, okay? It's an extremely important resource. Nonetheless, Deschamps-Courtois, as founder, the periodic system was taken up by his fellow Frenchmen. Oh, now they're getting ridiculous. Lecoq de Baudran, perhaps partly to get Mendeleyev's goat. Goat? Yes. Goat. William Odling, an accomplished English chemist, seems to have been a victim of bad luck. He got many things right about the periodic table, but is virtually forgotten today. Perhaps with his many other chemical and administrative interests, he simply got outworked by Mendeleev, who obsessed over the table. One thing Odling got wrong was the length of the periods of the elements, the number of elements that have to appear before similar traits reappear. He assumed all the periods were of length 8, but that's true only at the top of the table. Because of D shells, rows 3 and 4 require a period of 18 elements. Because of F shells, rows 5, 6, 32. Yeah. Those are those parts of the table that kind of extend outwards. Anyway, Gustavus Henriques was the only American on the list of co-discoverers, although he was not native-born clearly, and the only one described as both a crank and a maverick genius ahead of his time. That's what you call me sometimes. He published over 3,000 scientific articles in 4 languages and pioneered the study and classification of elements with light emissions that Bunsen discovered. You know those Bunsen burners? I don't know if they had you using them ever this year, but those things that you put on the table and you light a test tube above, right? I don't know if you've used those, but yeah. So where was I? Okay, he also played with numerology and developed a spiral arm periodic table that placed many really tough elements in the correct groups. So basically he made a corkscrew version of the periodic table of elements. That's how I'm interpreting this. Kind of look that up. That's actually pretty cool. As Sherry sums him up, the work of Henriques is so idiosyncratic and labyrinthine that a more complete study will be required before anyone can venture to pronounce on its real value. So yeah, basically he actually did, according to this. Disappearing spoon. Hope you guys are alright, making positive decisions. As I said, miss you. Yeah, that's a Christmas tree. Wait, dang, there it is. Christmas, yes, I know. Too lazy to put that away. You should all know me by now. Anyway, hope you're doing well. I'll put out another video probably tomorrow. But yes, thank you for putting up with my basically double feature today. Alright.